Okay, today I'm going to introduce what is the chat generative AI. Specifically, I'm going to take the ChatGPT as the example. I'm going to introduce what is ChatGPT and how can we use the ChatGPT. So in the very first slide, I'd like to show you this figure. This figure is actually quoted from this website. So if you want to find out further information, you can feel free to visit this website. So I have to say nowadays, I believe all of us will agree the AI, artificial intelligence, is kind of the useful tool, handy tool. It actually help us for a lot of things. For example, nowadays the most popular, the famous one, you can see the ChatGPT. It actually have so many physics. You can see the value right here is pretty high, and you can see these are the top five AI tools right here. So most of them would be the AI chatbot. That means the robot for chatting with you. And also you can see this would be the AI software to assist your writing, or something like a Midjourney is pretty famous for image generation anyway. So you can see these kind of things tell us that the AI is very, very important. And you can see the number right here, top 10 countries with the most AI users. So you can see, of course, number one is US right here. And you can see a lot of the countries like India, Indonesia, Philippines, a lot of the countries use AIs a lot. And also, if we compare the gender, you can see male tend to use the AI tool more than the female group. So again, I think it's just kind of a quick impression that AI right now, especially the AI chatbot, is very important. It's actually blends into our daily life. So again, I want to pick this ChatGPT, again, the number one most common used AI tool nowadays. I'd like to introduce this one as today's main topic. So you can see what is the full name for ChatGPT. Again, ChatGPT, you can see G represents generative, P pre-trained, and finally T represents transformer. So I put Chinese right here, 聊天生成预训练转换器 anyway. So it's kind of the language, a large language model-based chatbot. And this is the company name who manufactured this kind of the AI tool. And you can see the release date for ChatGPT is actually in November 2022. And I have to say, just like 1 month after the release, over a million users use this kind of the handy tool. And you may find out that it can actually provide a very high quality conversation. And you can see you can define the desired length, even the format, style, level of details, or even the language you'd like to use. So not only English, it also supports so many different language right there. I will show you this later. So in my personal opinion, I think ChatGPT can be a very good personal assistant. It can help so-called self-learning. Sometimes if you want to create something, for example, report, or even sometimes proposal, or even a manuscript, it can help you to initiate the idea. Of course, ChatGPT cannot do everything for you, but it will be very, very good start point anyway. And again, beyond Google, nowadays ChatGPT becomes another different way that we can collect the information. Okay, so I want you to do something. I want you to visit OpenAI website, specifically this one, and then you will be able to register for the ChatGPT. And basically, if you do have the Google account, I think you can directly use Google account to log in to the ChatGPT environment anyway. There is another very useful tool. If you are the Google web browser Chrome user, I think you can search AI, again, AI, and you can see PRM represent prompt. I will explain this later. AI prompt for ChatGPT. Okay, so maybe I can show you the website. Okay, you can simply again you should use the Chrome web browser, and then you can search AI PRM, okay, for ChatGPT. Then I think the very first website would be the right one. You can click on this one, and then you should be able to see this is more like the add-on, okay, add-on tool for Chrome web browser. So once you log into the ChatGPT, it will give you some useful functions right there. So because I have already installed this one into my Chrome, so you will see the message like remove from Chrome. But if you didn't install this, I think this button should be installed anyway. So I think you can directly click on this one. It may request some information, but anyway, once you finish all the steps, you will have this kind of add-on specifically designed for the ChatGPT. Okay, so you can try to now switch to the ChatGPT website. So now you can see if you do install the AI prompt, again, the add-on for the Chrome web browser, you should be able to see this kind of the messages right here. And again, you will have a pretty different keying block right here. So like you can choose which language you'd like to use. So normally I will pick English, but sometimes because our mother language, our primary language is Chinese. So anyway, sometimes you can also pick this one. This one, yeah, you can see 繁体中文, right? So traditional Chinese, you can also pick this one. So if you want, there are so many different languages that you can choose for anyway. But for now, I'm going to stay with the English right here. So not only the language itself, you can see actually tone or even the writing style, you can pick for. But of course, if you want to get the full function, you may need to pay for it. But for now, let's just stay with the free version of the AI prompt. So again, let's take a look at the ChatGPT environment. You can see now I'm using the ChatGPT 3.5. And again, if you want to use the newest version, ChatGPT 4, you may need to pay for it. So you need to upgrade to Plus version anyway. But I have to say, right now, ChatGPT 3.5 is good enough to me. And if you don't think you need the most up-to-date version, you can, again, use the 3.5 just like what I'm doing now. Okay, so I do hope that you are able to use the ChatGPT now. You need to finish the registration, and then you may follow me to go through the following slides. So let me go for the next slide. For this slide, I actually find out a video from the YouTube. So here is the website. So if you want to see the original video, you can just visit this website. But anyway, I'm going to play this video for you. It's just like a 1 to 2 minutes video clips. It will help you to quickly understand what is ChatGPT, okay? So let me play this for you.
ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence tool that belongs to a category of generative AI, which can create new content in the form of text, audio, images, simulations, and computer code, based on a text prompt from a user. The GPT in the tool's name stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and ChatGPT can generate an answer to almost any question it is asked. The tool was released for testing to the general public in November 2022. Since then, millions of people around the world have used the tool to create computer code, write college-level essays, generate poems, write fairy tales, compose press releases, and even create groan-inducing dad jokes. The tool is different from traditional chatbots, which rely on predefined rules and scripted responses. While chatbots can answer questions and perform basic tasks, their responses are more limited to what they have been programmed to say. These tools generally are based on decision trees, following a fixed path of questions and answers. Generative AI uses deep learning models to generate responses that are not pre-programmed. By utilizing large amounts of data, the tool can identify patterns to create unique responses to a user's input. Because answers are not scripted, generative AI can create responses that mimic human conversation with natural language. A good analogy would be chefs who have been trained on many recipes and cooking techniques. When the chefs are asked to make a new dish, they use their experience and knowledge to create a recipe. Likewise, when generative AI is given a task, it analyzes the patterns and rules it has learned from its dataset and creates new content based on those patterns. Generative AI's creation of images is similar. It's like painters who have seen a lot of different paintings before and have learned how to create new paintings that look similar to the ones they have seen. Just as painters are able to use their knowledge of art to create new works, image-based generative AI uses its knowledge of image to create new ones. The more images that an AI is trained on, the more it can learn about different styles and features to create more diverse and unique generated images. There are several issues around the tools, however, including concerns about bias over the datasets, concerns about whether copyrighted materials are being used in the datasets, and the accuracy of responses. The makers of this technology have acknowledged that we are still in the early stages of development and that end users should not assume the answers are absolute truth. Still, the technology seems destined to be integrated into other applications and tools, with companies such as Microsoft, Google, and others adding generative AI features into their search engines and other applications.
Okay, so I think this quick introduction can help you understand the idea behind the ChatGPT. I think the most important point would be ChatGPT is not like the traditional chatbot. It won't give you, always the same answer, because the answer itself is not pre-programmed. So anyway, why we say this is so-called generative AI, because based on what you are asking, ChatGPT can give you something really different. It will be the unique response to your question anyway. So that is so-called generative AI. So let me give you this quick architecture of the model behind the ChatGPT. So I have to say, to build up this kind of the ChatGPT, it may involve 3 different steps right here. So you can see step 1, step 2, and step 3. For different step, it may need or may not need the human interference. Okay, so you can see for the step 1, I have to say step 1 is the earliest step, and it will require a lot of the efforts from human. So you can see, first of all, you will see this new word to you, prompt. So again, prompt means the instruction to the ChatGPT. In Chinese, we say 提词或者是指令. Okay. So once we input something or we ask a question to the ChatGPT, then we may anticipate to get the answer or response from the machine, right? But in the very beginning, human will demonstrate, human will give this kind of response, okay? So again, a question and the answer from a real human beings. We try to use this kind of the combination to create a data set so we can train the ChatGPT anyway. So you can see right here, we need to collect a lot of the questions and a lot of the answers from the humans so we can create the so-called data set for supervised learning. Okay, so supervised represent that you need to prepare not only the question but also the ground truths, or sometimes we say answers, to train the machine. And within the ChatGPT, we do have 2 different machine learning models. The very first one is so-called SFT model. So you can see the full name, Supervised Fine-Tuning Model. So again, this model is responsible for generating good response to a specific question, like a specific prompt right here. So again, the step 1, it requires lots of the interference from the humans. So we cannot always rely on this one. We need to go for step number 2 and number 3. So let's look at the step number 2. Now, again, we can input a certain prompt right here. And then, because now we have the very initial SFT model right here, so the SFT model may generate, for example, 4 different answers or 4 different responses right here. But now, again, I just want to emphasize now the answer, all the answers are generated by the machine, not by the human. However, we will ask, again, a human being to rank which answer is the best one. and which is the second good one, third one, and the final one anyway. So the laborer, or you can say the human being, will take the responsibility to rank the answer. Okay, so based on this kind of data set, the machine will be able to learn which answer is the best option anyway. Based on this kind of the rank labeling, now we can train another model. This is so-called reward model. Sometimes we will use the abbreviation. You can see RM, reward model. So you can think about this model just like I can give each answer a score. For example, the best one may be the 100. Come with the 100 score, or maybe the a little bit the worst one can be 90 and then 80, or maybe the worst one can be 30 or 40. I don't know. So anyway, this reward model can help you confirm the quality of the SFT model, which generates the response to a certain prompt right here. So now right here, you can still find out that the humans still need to do something for this kind of model. However, if we still require the human interference, I have to say the model training will become pretty slow. Okay, so you can see the developing team for the ChatGPT, they actually developed a step number 3 right here. It actually involves a certain powerful learning called reinforcement learning. This learning can actually get rid of the human efforts right here. So now you can see there is no role for the human. Everything will be done through two models, like SFT model and the reward model. So think about this. Now we can randomly generate a prompt, and then the SFT model will generate the answer. And again, reward model will tell you whether the answer is good enough. If this is good enough, maybe we can feedback this kind of the reward to the SFT model. So next time, the SFT model, when this model is facing a similar prompt, it will generate the high quality or good response to the model. So you can think about this. We can have the random prompt, and these kind of things can be iteratively performed without the human efforts. So we can do this in a very, very quick computation speed, and also achieve so-called reinforcement. In Chinese, we say 增强式, okay? 增强式的一个学习, reinforcement learning right here. But anyway, if somehow we find out that the reward model cannot further improve the performance of the SFT model, we can certainly go back to the step 2, ask for more human input to retrain or refine the reward model anyway. But based on these 3 steps right here, now you can see ChatGPT as a result becomes a very powerful chat AI anyway. So now, after this quick and basic introduction, I think I can provide you quick examples about how can we use or how can ChatGPT do for me, okay? So again, I just want to highlight, every single time when you try to communicate or ask something to the ChatGPT, you need to give a specific prompt. Supposedly, these kind of prompts should come with good conditions or certain constraints to make ChatGPT give you a better response anyway. So let me show you this maybe 5 examples right here. For example, I give you the very first example in Chinese. So you can see 院长找我写计划. Anyway, the dean of the college asked me to write a proposal anyway, and I want to just decline it, but I don't want to offend my dean. So anyway, you can see I want to gently decline this kind of the invitation, maybe with a good reason. And I also limit the word number, so you can see within 100 words anyway. So let me show you this one. What can I get from the ChatGPT? So maybe I can copy this one. Okay, so I can pass it to the ChatGPT. So again, if you are you're trying to ask the ChatGPT to generate the Chinese response, maybe you can switch the language to 繁体中文, traditional Chinese anyway. So let me try this. Okay, so you can see just like a 100 word. If you do think this is a little bit too short anyway, maybe you can also go for a longer version anyway. So now you can see I can easily change the condition right here. So for example, 300 words. So now you can see actually the response is pretty good. You can see come with the title. You can see I thank for things invitation. I feel honored. However, my current job is pretty busy, so I need to spend my full spirit on it, my full energy on it. So if I promise you to do so, maybe I cannot get the best result. So I do hope that you can fully understand my current situation, and I fully understand that this proposal is that important, and I do hope that in the future, if my situation allow me to do so, I will still have the chance to participate in this kind of the grant writing or something. And finally, I thank you for this invitation, and I really want to have the opportunity to do something for the college anyway. So you can see this response is actually pretty good, right? So not only this one, we do have a lot of different things. You can see I can also combine the English and the Chinese. It's pretty okay to the ChatGPT. Uh, in fact, the ChatGPT itself is a very good translator. So if you want to translate Chinese to English or backwards, I have to say the ChatGPT is a very good one. Okay, so maybe I can pick this one. If I try to ask some professional question, okay, so you can see what is a common pathology, 常见的病理 for this kind of the malignant brain tumor, gliomas. So whether ChatGPT can give me a very good answer. So of course I want to get the response for English maybe. So I pick English right here, and now okay, you can see this is my question. So again, now you can see it can generate a response in very short time, and it can tell you it's originated from the glial cell. Of course, I know lots of you didn't have the ideas about what is the gliomas, but again, I have to say this can really tell you something for real. So you can see what is the common pathology types. So you can see astrocytomas, oligodendrocytes, and also the this kind of cells. I think there is this one, the grade number 4, the glioblastoma. This is sometimes we say this is a GBM. This is the most malignant one anyway. So you can see ChatGPT can actually give you a very good answer. And if you don't think this is good enough, actually you can continue asking ChatGPT to give you more details about that. For example, can you give me more details? Okay, if you do that, you will find out ChatGPT will never say no to you. So now you can see compared to the previous response, now ChatGPT can give you more details about this kind of the common pathology of the gliomas anyway. So I have to say, if you can learn how to chat with ChatGPT, you may be able to get a lot of useful information. Okay, so of course we do have several others example right here. Feel free to try it by yourself. And again, you can always ask something that you really cares about to ChatGPT. Okay, so you can define your own problems or own problems right here. So in the following example, I want to talk about what is the high quality or meaningful response. And sometimes it is a highly related to the prompts or the question itself. So I want to take this Bloom taxonomy as the example right here. So of course, when we are talking about something like a cognitive domain, you can see there are several different levels related to the thinkings. Remembering, understanding, just like the lower level or lower order thinking skill. So it's just like what we did maybe during the elementary school. We only need to remember some basic rules to do the addition or subtraction or something. But you can see now we are talking about the higher education, right? That's you are the undergraduate students, right? So you may find out for the higher education, we are actually talking about the critical thinking. So of course, one day you will get your job, you will pursue your career, and you will find out the real-world problem-solving skill will highly involve for this kind of the higher level or higher order thinking skills, like applying what you learned, analyzing the question, evaluating the situation, or sometimes you may need to create something to actually earn something for your company or your own career anyway. So if you want to ask a tough question, sometimes this may be the question that you may face during your future work. For example, you may have the chance to work in the clinical environment anyway. So if I give you this kind of the situation, for example, you are the radiological technologist, 放射师, okay, in 医师放射师 anyway. You may face a situation you need to determine whether a patient, standing in front of you, whether this patient can receive an MRI exam or not. You are not sure about that. You may need to consider a lot of things. And of course, I know you are just like the freshman, so you know nothing about the MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. But anyway, if you are the student in Department of Biomedical Imaging and the Radiological Sciences, you may have the chance to learn it. But I can tell you now that this kind of the decision will involve several different issues right here. For example, what is the indication for the MRI? What is the potential safety issues we need to care about? And whether we need our patient to sign the informed consent, or maybe what is the optimal or ideal imaging parameters that we can use to imaging, for example, the knee joint, and whether I may need to call for support from nurse, from doctors, or something or no. We may need to think about those issues, and then we can make the final decision whether send the patient into the MRI scan room or maybe no. Okay. So again, this kind of the high-level questions may involve lots of the discussions between teacher and students, or even between students. That is something you will learn in the future anyway. But if I try to ask this kind of the question to ChatGPT, what would happen? You can see now, this is my prompt. And actually, I am asking something about what is patient screening procedure for MRI exam. So you can see right here, I don't actually need to use the full name of the MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. However, ChatGPT can easily understand this because this is a common exam tool in clinical environment. And then not only ask this question, I also ask ChatGPT to make a table for me. Okay, so I say make a table, please. So now you can see this is a response from the ChatGPT. You can see it's very good. You can see ChatGPT divides all the screening procedure, okay, into several steps. You can see 4 steps right here. And then not only 4, you can see 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 different steps. So it will involve like questionnaire. You will ask your patient to complete a questionnaire, just like something about the medical history, even the medication or surgeries, implants. I think this is something. When we are saying something about contrast agent, we may need to take care about this kind of the issue. And because MRI is the environment that very sensitive to the metal, okay? So we need to do the metal screening. We need to check the health conditions, and again, sometimes we may need the contrast agent. And although MRI is not really dangerous for pregnant women, however, there's still some concerns about this. So again, we may do the pregnancy screening. We may need to have the full communication with the patient so the patient can understand what would happen within the scanning room anyway. So which is the part that we want them to comply with us to finish this kind of the scan. So preparation instructions and also the information informing the technologist anyway. So you can see I cannot say all the information provided by the ChatGPT is fully correct, okay, or fully accurate. Okay, sometimes you still need to ask yourself, is it correct? Okay, you need to validate it. You need to confirm confirm the correctness by yourself anyway. But still, this is a good example telling you that even this is kind of the higher level question right now, ChatGPT can do something for you. Okay, so it can easily separate the procedure into eight steps and tell you not only the procedure name, but also why you need this one, or even what you should do within this step. So again, this is the power of the ChatGPT you should be able to feel. Let me give you another example. You can see, for example, if you are going to present something, for example, you are going to have the seminar or oral presentation or something, and now you are looking at news. You can see this is the news published in CNN. Okay, so you can see this is the news title, and this is just like the very first paragraph of this news. I just crop a part of them right here. And of course, you can see this kind of the written language for news, you can see it's pretty long. I mean, the sentence is pretty long. And sometimes the sentence itself can be very complex to be understood. So let me quickly read through the very first sentence. You can see this is super long, like, newly updated the U.S. Food and Drug Administration regulations will require mammography facilities to notify patients about the density of their breasts. Anyway, you can see the sentence is pretty long. But if you really want to present this, for example, using the PowerPoint slides, I think you should not put such long sentence within the PowerPoint slide. You should do something. Somehow you may need to modify it. For example, make the sentence shorter, or maybe try to extract the key points, get the key points from the whole paragraph, so your audience will be easier to understand the meaning. So for this kind of example, of course, ChatGPT can help, but I'm going to show you what is the impact. Okay, what is the impact of the prompt? If you give, I don't know, if you give a bad prompt, I mean vague, not clear a prompt to the ChatGPT, you may get a poor response anyway. So for example, if I only say something about this one, please reorganize the following paragraph for a PowerPoint slide anyway. Now I just directly copy paste the paragraph right here. So you can see my prompt is very vague, because now ChatGPT can only know something about I'm going to make a PowerPoint slide or something. So let's just see what is the response from the ChatGPT. You can see basically you can see the ChatGPT will try to help you make the title for the slide, and you can see the content for the slide. For example, this is slide number 1. You can see again the content for the slide is still pretty long. And again, I have to say, basically what you can have right here, very long sentences, and I have to say, basically the ChatGPT simply breaks down the sentence within the paragraph into 3 slides. So I have to say, if you see this kind of the long sentences within a certain slide, I have to say it is not good enough, because it's still become very difficult to the audience to understand the meaning behind this, right? Super long sentence right here. So again, I just want to emphasize, if you can somehow modify the prompt, okay, give the prompt in different way. I mean, give specific or more details, or even the conditions, constraints about what you really need. Maybe the ChatGPT will have better chance to help you. So I would say, if I modify, I've changed the prompts now with the language awareness, and also I'm constrained the output using a certain slide design, maybe ChatGPT can do it better. So you can see now this is a new prompt that I gave to the ChatGPT. So you can see, please use spoken English. I think this is the very first point. I don't want long written English. I want spoken English. So the spoken English should be able to help your audience understand the meaning. And also, I want the ChatGPT to use spoken English to simplify, to make it easy to be understood, right? And again, not only that, I also constrain the potential English proficiency level for the audience. So I would say so that the reader or the audience reads a TOEIC score like 500. Again, I have to say 500 is pretty low. So that means the English proficiency level may not be high, but I really want ChatGPT to do something to simplify the content using simple English so the students can understand, right? And then I want to talk about the slide design. Now I give another constraint. I'm talking about something like, please use five bullet points and 8 principle. That means bullet points, 5 bullet points, and 8 words within 1 bullet point. This is kind of the principle and the limitations to organize the PowerPoint slides. Okay, so now you can see my new prompt come with the conditions and the constraint. What can I get? Now you will see the result become very good because now for each slide right here, the title will become simple, and the point right here you can see dense breaths increase breast cancer risk. Okay, again for each point it will only include at the most 8 words right here, and again for each slide it cannot include more than 5 points. So you can see this example just 3 points right here. So you can see this is slide number 3 and slide number 4. If I copy all the content into the real PowerPoint slide, what would it be? So you can see now this is a title, this is subtitle recommended by the ChatGPT, and now you can see I put this into the slide. Now you can see the slide become easy. I mean, it will be much more easier to be understood by the audience or the students right here. So again, based on this example, you can see, yes, if we can give the right prompt, we can make everything right, then maybe we'll have the chance to get high quality or good response from ChatGPT. Now, let me give you another example right here. ChatGPT can not only help presenter can be teachers, or even can be you, because students sometimes need to prepare the oral presentation, right? So for presenter, we can do something like just what I demonstrated to you. But now I'm going to tell you, ChatGPT can also change the way we learn, okay? Or even it can change the way we teach. So let me give you this example. This is the real example that actually I applied for my graduate student, okay? They can be the master program students or even the PhD program students anyway. So you can see what is the scenario. We are actually talking about how to make a good scientific writing, okay? So we see in the scientific paper, normally we will have several different parts or sections right there, including like abstract, introduction, material methods, results, discussions, and also the conclusions followed by the references anyway. But now you can see I'm going to simply focus on one of the section, materials and methods right here. So you can see in the step number 1, I actually separated this kind of the learning journey into 4 steps. So let us just take a look at the step number 1 right here. You can see step number 1, it only involves 2 roles, like professor, that is me, and my students right here. So you can see only human beings within the step 1. I try to initiate a discussion between me and my students, or even among the students anyway. I ask them to list the key points or key elements that they think it should be presented within the materials and methods. And actually, I didn't ask them to give me the key points following the right order. They can just speak out anything in their mind. But during the discussion, I will be the one who reorganize the structure. I mean, the one to reorganize the structure in real time anyway. So you can see after like 10 to 20 minutes discussion, we create this kind of the structures that is all agreed by all the students anyway. So you can see it will include several different elements right here, or even some sample points right here. You can see. Okay, so this is the outputs from human beings. And then when I go for the step 2, now you can see this is like the interaction between students and ChatGPT. So now I want my student to confirm what does ChatGPT suggest, okay? So again, if you want to get a very good response from ChatGPT, you may need to set up the thing. Again, you need to provide the conditions or constraints. So you can see my prompt right here would be considering I am writing the topic, like an MR radiomics analysis for the prediction of outcome of glioma patients. Again, this may be too professional to you, but again, I just try to set up the thing so the ChatGPT may understand what I'm doing right now. I ask ChatGPT to generate the materials and the message sections, including following subtitles, like description of IRB approval, data resource acquisition, experimental design, processing steps, and also the statistical analysis anyway. So why do I know that? Because based on the human being discussions right here, you can see I try to use these subtitles as the input to the ChatGPT. So now you can see this is the result generated by the ChatGPT. Now you can see ChatGPT won't really create a scientific paper for you. However, it will generate the structure, okay, the structure for you. For example, when we are talking about the approval from IRB, IRB, the full name is the Institutional Review Board. This is the organization that can help to protect the right for the subjects or the participants in the study anyway. So you will see this is kind of the common description that we would put within the material and message sections. And you can see the study protocol and data acquisition procedures were approved by the IRB. Okay, and you can see right here, you can see the brackets right here. This is the place that ChatGPT suggests you to put in the name of the IRB. For example, the IRB from our university or IRB from one of the hospital, okay, prior to initiation of the study anyway. So you can see similar things for different subtitles. The ChatGPT will generate the suggested structure. But again, data for this study were obtained from, again, it won't give you the real name, but instead, ChatGPT will ask you to specify, to give the source or the database for the data collection anyway. So similar things can be included for the following sections right here. So you can see this is the result from the ChatGPT. So again, I have to say there's no guarantee that the response provided by the ChatGPT would be fully correct or fully accurate. Okay, there's no guarantee. So there's something we should do. I mean, human beings should do. That is to compare or maybe to confirm or validate the response. Okay, so you can see a lot of the response generated by the ChatGPT. But now let's come to the step number 3. I ask my student to compare the outputs from human and ChatGPT, and I want to see what do we get right here. So again, you can see for the right-hand side, this is what we obtained between the human discussion, right? The very first step, step number 1. And again, this is something that we get from ChatGPT. Okay, so now I ask my students to make the comparison. And as the result, you will find out that actually the sentence or the points that highlighted with the blue underline right here, these are the parts that we find out ChatGPT it doesn't mention anything about this part. However, the human beings like us, we know this is very important for the materials and methods. However, ChatGPT doesn't mention anything about this. So this kind of the quick comparison give us a very important message that again, whatever you get from ChatGPT, maybe 70% or 80% it is right, but sometimes it may miss certain important information right there. So as a human being, don't fully trust what you get from the ChatGPT. Instead, you use it a very good initial point or maybe guide you to learn further things or help you to confirm what else you may need to add in. That is something you can use, okay? So final step right here, remember who is the learner? You, I mean student is the learner. So the final step, I ask the students, so the final step, so again, finally, we may need to remind ourselves who is the learner. I mean, right now, students, I mean you are the learners. So I will ask my students to now really write their own materials and method. So now you can see I ask a different group of students to create the real sentence for the materials and method. And again, I allowed them to use the information that we get between the human discussion and also the result from the ChatGPT. They can combine everything they have to construct or create this kind of the scientific writing. Okay, but it is also very important after this kind of the writing practice. The students will provide their own feedbacks to others. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of the comments from different students. So again, not only the AI is thinking, students are allowed to think about what is something we can improve based on the real human writing right here. So again, following these 4 steps learning journey, I do hope that you can understand now ChatGPT can help us to learn in very different way. Okay. So the final part right here, I want you to know not only the regular way to express what we want or what we like to ask. Sometimes you can also use something like the structural prompt right here. So this is something provided by one of the Japanese. So right here you can see I only have the Chinese right here. So you can see this is so-called 深津式泛用 prompt. Anyway, this is just some guy. You can visit this website who actually provide the key points that you can use to give a clear and a well-constrained prompt to the ChatGPT anyway. So you can see lots of the suggestion right here. For example, you need to provide a specific role. Okay, for example, you are a professional editor. Okay, so this is so-called specific role. And then you need to specify what is the input and output. For example, the input will be a paragraph of the writing or something, and you may ask the ChatGPT to output the revised paragraph anyway. And then you need to give a specific constraint. For example, you want the output, the word number should be within 300. And also you want the content to be easily understood by even the elementary school students. And also maybe something like you need to make sure the sentence is succinct and do not leave any key information or something anyway. You don't really need to use the full sentence. Sometimes you use the point or listed comments or prompts. It may help the ChatGPT to give the right answer. So finally, if you can give as many as possible, I mean the constraints, it may limit it. It won't make the response too broad. So you can narrow down the output and to make it really like what you want. So let me give you the example right here. For example, you want to set up the role. So you are an American professional English teacher. Okay. And you ask ChatGPT to output its best correction based on the following constraints and the input sentences. So again, the final part, this is the input. So this is a paragraph of the diary anyway. But the constraint, you can see the number of the characters is about 200. The text should be easily to understand for a TOEIC score of 575. Keep a sentence succinct and concise, and also correct any grammatical errors or more appropriate expressions. So maybe find a better way to express the meaning. And the most important things, not only correct it, I also want ChatGPT to give the reason why you think this is a good correction. Okay. So then you may find out not only the ChatGPT can output this kind of the revised paragraph. Now you can see it will also list each correction with the reason. For example, this is the original sentence. Today I go to my old school and it brought back lots of memories. Anyway, you can see the correction. Today I went to my old school and it brought back many memories. Anyway, so you can see basically it's correct the tense from the present tense to the past tense. So go to went. And again, lots of it's just replaced by many anyway. So you can see a lot of things. For example, I walked and remembered all the fun things I did there. So again, it will be corrected as the I walked around and recollected all the enjoyable things I did there. Okay, so you can see lots of the good examples right here. So of course, if you want to ask one of your friends or your English teacher to correct a lot of things for you and always provide a reason to you, that would be annoying, I would just say. No one will help you. However, now ChatGPT becomes a very good English tutor, personal tutor. You don't need to pay for it, but again, it can give you lots of the detailed information. So think about the possibility behind the ChatGPT. Okay, so right now I just want to give you the summary about what we mentioned today. So I have to say, if you really understand the power of the ChatGPT and you really want to use this, I would say every single time when you try to provide the prompts, make sure it is precise with specific conditions and constraints. This will help ChatGPT to generate the most helpful response. Okay, accurate and helpful response. And again, in order to set up the conditions and the constraint, it will be super important that you, as a human being, understand your own requirement. And you need to convert it into listed or points, conditions, and the constraints. Okay, so this kind of the activity or performance will highly related to critical thinking. So you may find out if you don't think, you think if I have ChatGPT, I can do everything. That is mission impossible. Actually, you need to think before you use ChatGPT. So just like you need to set up the thing, you need to set up the conditions and the constraint, then you can ask ChatGPT to do something to you. So again, even you are the user to the ChatGPT, you should be a thinker, or you should be the user come with a good skill for the critical thinking. Okay. The third point, you can do something like give consecutive conversation with ChatGPT. If you ask the first question, ChatGPT give you the first response, and you don't think this is good enough. Actually, you can ask a second question, try to refine the response, or try to ask ChatGPT give you more detailed information, constrained examples, or even refine their response to a certain direction anyway. That is some way. That means the conversation with the ChatGPT can actually further improve the quality of response. And then I have to say the value of ChatGPT, I mean the potential applications or potential usages of ChatGPT actually highly rely on humans' intention and creation. I will show several more examples to you next week. You will find out if you have good ideas, maybe ChatGPT can bring you high profits anyway. But if you don't know how to use it, or you have no ideas about the power or potential of the ChatGPT, maybe ChatGPT just like another software to you. It makes nothing to you. Okay, the final point, I just want to remind you again, do not fully trust the response given by ChatGPT. Always validate its responses. Make sure the response is accurate, is correct, okay? If you fully trust it without any validation, that will be super dangerous, okay? So finally, there is a very good words from one of the president, from the president of the Weige Zhongxue anyway, Li Haishuo 校长. You can see these beautiful words saying something about thinkers with AI capability. That means thinkers knows how to use the AI will dominate those who use AI without critical thinking skills. So remember, it doesn't mean that you have AI, you have everything. No, yourself should be a good thinker. You should always use the AI with critical thinking skills. However, you can see while those who resist AI will be left behind. So if nowadays you think AI is not my business, you don't want to learn how to use the AI, you don't understand what is the beauty or potential of the AI, you will be left behind. That means you will never get a good opportunity to get a good job or even get a high score or something. Okay, so I think these nice words definitely worth you to think about this, and maybe you will understand the importance of critical thinking and the usages of AI. Okay, so that should be all for the introduction of the ChatGPT. For the potential applications, I will introduce those to you next week. But again, I want to say something about together. Nowadays, human AI team becomes very important. Not solely rely on the human or solely rely on the AI. As a team, human AI team, we will make everything better. That is something for real. Okay, so before I close this lecture, I just want to share with you one more document. Again, this is a document that I provided to you. That is the tips in using ChatGPT. Again, actually, you may easily find out this is the question, this is a prompt that I ask ChatGPT. You can see what are suggestions for users' prompts to ChatGPT to get a high quality response. So I actually asked this question to the ChatGPT. But again, you can see ChatGPT actually gives you a very, very good response. So be specific, add context, ask for step-by-step explanations, request comparisons, seek clarifications, specify the depths of information, frame as a conversation, or ask for evidence or research-based responses. I would say these points are good. Of course, I will give you the link of this file. I want you to read through the details and the examples right here. You may be able to understand what is a good way to design the prompts. And of course, your final proposal, your final project will highly related to this kind of the prompt design. I will tell you the details next week, and I will give you sufficient time to discuss with your team members. And I do hope that you will set up a good prompts and find out the beauty of the ChatGPT. Okay? So I think that should be all for today. So if you do have any question, feel free to send me an email, and I will answer you as my early convenience. Thank you.